Hitting the wall versus danger zone. So let's look at danger zone first. Ladies, if you're turning 27 and you're unmarried, you're crossing into the danger zone. The danger zone is a population of leftover women, typically ages 27 to 35-year-old women who couldn't make the cut. No ring, no husband, and no family household. Women who entered the dating market at 18. And from 18 to 27, you spent 9 years auditioning to be a wife. And you failed. A few things took place. During this time frame, you racked up a body count, no ring. You racked up babies, no ring. You racked up pounds. And your sexual marketplace value started to decrease during your prime years. You racked up pounds before 18 because your parents overfed you and never put you in team sports. Or you were just ugly and didn't improve in other areas of your appearance to compensate for your mug. You spent your entire SMV window pursuing independence. Congratulations, you just forfeited your power to swipe left and right. You invested all of your SMV into the Pookie and Ray Rays. So now you're crossing into the danger zone with bastards, looking for a man to play stepdaddy. So now you gotta be punctual and on a swivel for any man that shows interest. But your choosy days are gone. Okay, now hitting the wall. Typically, time has completely exhausted all of your value. You're barely an option. You're a stepmother at best. Your natural attraction has completely depleted, and artificial beauty enhancement is the only way you can be noticed. You're beginning to sag. You don't have any energy or motivation to keep yourself up so you can be noticed. You can only target gullible young men. Your personality and character can no longer continue to compensate for your faded beauty. You begin to use words like men are all dogs. You lie about getting attention from men to mask your own insecurity. You're forced to become a cougar. You're in denial, and the Bible has become your husband.
You understand soon enough.
Everyone, this is Angela, and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Y'all, this is going to be one of my raunchy rant videos that is not safe for work. So if you are at work at this present time, you're in the office, or you are otherwise in a situation at the moment that is not suitable for having adult conversations, then I will just count it down from 5 and give you a few moments to tune out on this video, but make sure you tune back in at a later time. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, for those of you who are still here, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all, I got a question. What happened to the wall? Have you heard anything about the wall lately? Because I haven't heard too much about the wall since about 2023. Prior to then, it was you're too old and you hit the wall this every time you turned around, or you're over the age of 25 and you hit the wall that. See, they talked about the wall so much that it was even entered into the Urban Dictionary. And this is what they said that it meant when someone hits the wall. Says the wall is the point at which a woman's looks, they specified woman here. It's the point at which a woman's looks rapidly start to fade. Most women hit the wall in their early to mid 30s. A woman who has hit the wall is said to be a post-wall woman. I don't know what to say about the wall and its categories. Did y'all know that the wall had categories? Let me continue. It says, after a woman hits the wall, she will most likely become bitter as she no longer garners male attention. Okay. So why have they stopped talking about the wall, y'all? Well, I was the first one in this little niche to point out the 70 million surplus of males on the planet. And I'm only saying that I was the first to do that because of the reason behind why I did it. You see, the opposition's soft points lie with numbers. They can argue things all day long, but when you start throwing numbers and empirical data, that's what stumbles them up. You see, it's because the numbers tell the truth about them. If an older woman, for instance, the one that they call the quote-unquote post-wall woman, that's the woman who's living through the aftermath of hitting a wall, right? If, according to them, she does not garner the male attention after a certain age, then what it means is that there will be a lot of single and older women who can walk outside alone at night. See, the truth is that the numbers show that women of every single age can get male attention. Let's think about it for a second. Let's go through the process of having an erection. Okay. That process that hardens the eggplant is a biochemical process because hormones are involved, right? And that begins by some type of stimulation. And what that stimulation begins as, always, as a thought. The reason why I'm saying so, aside from the anatomical and physiological reality that is true, anatomy and physiology, y'all. Most men, if they were blindfolded and being touched by a woman who they knew, trusted, were already in a relationship with in an intimate way, their implant would become stiff, right? Most times. Now, what if that guy thought that's who was touching him? And then he took off the blindfold and saw, instead of the woman that he thought he was with, saw a dude standing there in front of him. Some guys would be okay with it, but most would have a different reaction. The biochemical process that caused the eggplant to get hard would definitely go away at that point for a lot of guys. That's why I'm saying that the biochemical reaction that leads to an erection, bear with me because, the algorithm, that hardens the eggplant, which is a physiological response, all of it begins with a thought. And while they were on social media, as well as in real life, telling women over the age of 25 that we have all hit the wall, they were over on the P to the O to the R to the NO sites trying to hook up with grandma on an SCX date. The screenshots that you see are of women who actually had nudes. So when I took the screenshot, I had to edit it in a way not to expose what's going on, beneath their necks. So if you are an older woman who is dating, I beg you, please be careful because these dudes are out here trying to pimp out grandma too. Think about it. Older women would not be out here like these ladies are. So I suspect that the younger girls and women are hip to the game, which is great. And they are not falling for it. So in the world of smut, punana is punana. It does not matter if it is older with gray hair on it, younger, underaged. It doesn't matter if it's attached to someone who has mental processing issues and is very vulnerable as a result. It does not matter to them. Punana is punana. And it's sickening. That's how they think. And this is why I'm doing videos like this, to call them out on their ish and also make all of you aware. So what they're doing, they're switching up the game. The reality is that the whole quote unquote hit the wall stunt was simply a way to get women's self-esteem down into the gutter so that it would make it easier for the women to agree to untenable situations. All they see when they see us women are 3 holes to use to pop their rocks for these dusties. That's how they think. They don't value our humanity. They don't value anything about us. They just see us as a way to keep their rocks popped until they get what they want. And sometimes what they want is another dude in the first place. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to be with people. You understand what I mean? I'm not calling out people that are living different lifestyles. That's not what this is about. This is about calling out the ones that manipulate and the damage that they cause when they do. So this whole hit the wall thing was just to get women to lower their self-esteem. And they do the same thing when it goes to making fun of plus-sized women or women of darker complexions or women of different phenotypes. They're only doing this because they are exploiting the cracks within the society for their own personal gain. Oh, look at this group of women. They got low self-esteem because they're plus size, they're older, they have darker complexions, they have different phenotypes. But at the end of the day, all of those women got punana. So I'm not going to do anything. This is what they're thinking. I'm not going to do anything to build up her self-esteem, because if I do that, then she's not going to want me. So I'm just going to pile on and keep her feeling bad and put her into a situation where she'll do anything to please me. And I'll just give her one breadcrumb after the other, thinking that it'll please me. And then I'll keep flipping the game up on her so that way she can stay low and I can have a easy place to park it when it's time for me to bust my nuts. That's how they're thinking. So they done went from the darker skinned woman to the plus size woman to hitting the wall. Now, what's happening? And per usual, I have proof directly from the P to the O to the R to the NO sites to show you that they are really attracted to people who they would otherwise shun in public. Now, before I go any further, I want to make this clear. I'm not attempting to judge any people's lifestyle as it pertains to how they get down behind closed doors. So long as all parties are transparent with one another, no manipulation going on, and everybody is consenting, I feel that everyone is free to do whatever they want to do. My goal here is not to shame anyone for what they do. My goal is to expose the nefarious individuals who sow seed of division, laugh at those who play along, and all the while they are profiting off of the chaos. That's what my goal is, to expose them, not to shame people who live outside of the monogamous heterosexual norm, okay? So this is a screenshot of the comment section from a video on the X Hamster website. And X Hamster, for those that don't know, is like one of those major P to the O to the R to the NO sites. That was titled, quote, "Granny kept saying, boy, if you wasn't my grandson." Now that's the title of the video, where you got two people going at it. And yes, speaking of the fact that there are more than 70 million more boys and men on the planet than there are girls and women, listen, the number of incest videos featuring stepdad and stepdaughter and stepmom and stepson and stepbrother and stepsister, along with their friends and neighbor and all this other kind of stuff, all of that kind of stuff has been rapidly on the rise. So it's not surprising to me who goes into the gutter of the web to find out the real truth about these folks. It's not surprising for me to see a grandma and grandson type of video within that space. Bear in mind that sexual stimulation begins mentally. I want you to understand that these people are actually climaxing off of the fantasy of a grandmother being humped by her own grandson. And here are the comments to back it up. So StickU011 says, "If she'd been my grandma, I'd have been hitting it every day." Okay. I'm assuming that StickU011 is a male. Now the rest of these comments have the male symbol next to them, as well as their nationality for the most part. So eBoogie45 says, "Where's the family reunion at?" Mr. Let's Get It says, "F yeah, work that mama." And Teddy Bear 6769 says, "Wish my family was like this." Yeah. So you see, they're telling the truth about how they really feel about things when they get over on that side of things. So here's another video titled 77 years old tattoo granny BBC A word and then F word. So in other words, she's taking it up the backside. I'll put it like that. And I took a partial screenshot of the man who was doing the pumping so that you can see who it is. He looks like he's from the quote unquote most desired group, right? And this is the group. The dusties from this group are the ones who are telling women that they are hitting the wall at age 25. Meanwhile, he's up here hitting 77-year-old granny's walls, so to speak. And here's the comment section on that particular video. And this was on P-Hub, okay? By7838F says, what do y'all look up, man? Now, I don't know what By7838F meant by that. Maybe he felt some kind of way about, grandma and the young man getting down. I don't know. So moving on downward, XSAIGEX, I don't know how to say that, but you see it right there, says, shoot, I'd hit it too. With a heart emoji. You see, this person is not 77 years old. He looks more like he may be 27. And he's freely popping his rocks to the video of a young man. So he's seeing himself as a young man behind 77-year-old grandma doing the deed. Okay. Jade Bimbo says, Granny needs all the cocks in her a-hole before she dies. And then we got Buck Naked 32 that just gave a few fire emojis. And I had to block out the picture for Buck Naked 32 because it was it was not safe for work. I'll just put it like that. So the final one that I'll go over is called, quote, ugly 67-year-old granny gang banged. Okay. And the comment section on that one says, from Dazzling number 28, ugly, huh, she's hot. And that one got 4 likes. And Robo Softail says, was about to say that, love the pale skin and the red hair and the hoo-na-na and the a-hole look great. Yeah. And Gary 1967-1 says, who says she's ugly? I love redheads. And this one, CCB0D60 says something in Russian and then says, I really want you to see my new panties. And from the way that CCB appears, I don't think this is someone who would normally wear panties, or that panties were designed for. I'll put it like that. Because from the shape of the chin and the jawline, I'm thinking that there's more than meets the eye with this person. Again, no judgment. Here's where I'm going with it and why I'm saying it. I often see, when I'm doing this type of research, I'll put it like that, I see advertisements where people are coming in and saying little stuff like that. And I also see dudes that are responding to those advertisements while full on knowing that they are speaking to a trans person. But back to the reason for this video. I wanted to go ahead, y'all, and post an obituary for the wall. Because in case you didn't know, the wall has perished. It is all crumbled down into dust. The wall doesn't matter anymore. These males are out here chasing after women of all ages, but older women are particularly vulnerable, especially if they are not tech savvy. They may not even be aware that they are being filmed by these dudes who are making money off of them. Additionally, many of these males may try to talk these women into participating in gang bangs and making it seem like it's just them exploring a different sexual kink. That may be what he's telling her, but what he may also be doing is selling bodily access to the guys who are the so-called people gang banging her. Because remember, since there are more men on the planet than women, that means that there is a coochie scarcity. Yes, coochie is in high demand. It always has been, but even more so now. This is part of the reason why they ain't talking about the wall anymore. And on a more serious note, they are promoting incest encounters on P to the O to the R to the NO side, because many of the men watching know that they will not get girlfriends or wives. So they can't jerk it off to something they know they can't access. Because, like I said before, the biochemical process that makes the eggplant firm begins with a thought. So if they think that, oh, I'm never going to get married, I'm never going to have a girlfriend, it's going to kill the vibe for them. So they are jerking it off to someone who they feel is more accessible, like a female relative, which is highly dangerous. We are all aware to watch our girls and to look out for very young women, to caution them about predators, which is good that we are on high alert for their sakes. However, older women are also vulnerable. So if you have a single auntie who has not gotten a memo yet, and you are suddenly seeing her with a significantly younger man, please show her this video for her own safety. That way she won't become an sex trafficking victim without even realizing it. You know, because these people have the same mentality. For a while, they were selling drugs, selling, heroin, cocaine, you name it, right? But they will get a lot of time if they're caught with those DURGSs, right? So what did they do? They began to steal pets. Because if they get caught stealing pets and reselling them, they won't get as much time as if they're caught with DRUGS on them. So it's the same mentality. If they're caught with an underage girl or with a very young woman, it's obvious what they're doing and they will go down for a very long time. But if they are with an older woman who they can convince, because she's vulnerable, that what they're doing is not what it is, but instead it's them exploring a kink and exploring a sexual fantasy instead of him setting her up in sex trafficking, then they can get away with it for longer. You understand what I mean now? You understand what I'm saying? So we don't want auntie or grandma to become an sex trafficking victim without even realizing it. Okay? So that's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.